I'm not going to tell you. Everybody has an ego. On some level, everybody kind of suspects that their opinions and ideas are kind of better than everybody else's. Plenty of studies have shown that everybody believes on some level that they are above average, which is impossible. Half the people you meet are above average, and half the people you meet are below average. Normally, this is no big deal. This is just human nature. But it's likely a very necessary and beneficial evolutionary trait to try to demonstrate why you are above average. This would create a tribe of people who are always trying to outdo each other, which would maximize food acquisition. The problem comes when you try to convince somebody you don't know really well about the validity of your idea or your opinion, or if you want somebody that you don't know very well to take your suggestion. It's kind of like an ego version of Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. An ego corollary could be, for every opinion, there is an equal and opposite opinion. So whatever opinion you have about what other people should do, they will have an equal and opposite opinion about what they should do. This is why the hard sell is called the hard sell. It only works if you have massive confidence and charisma and can wear down the customer. Even then, the success rate of the hard sell is at best 10% or so. So, dear viewer, how do you get around this weird human trait so that you can easily slide your ideas into other people's brains? By using a pattern from the Milton model, both linguistically and structurally. The pattern is, I'm not going to tell you. For example, consider two scenarios. In both scenarios, we have a car salesman and a customer. They've gone through the demo and they're at the part in the conversation where the salesperson is going to close the customer. The blatant close would be, well, Mr. Customer, it looks like this car is a perfect match for what you want. I think you should buy this. I'll get the paperwork started. This will invite objections. This will trigger the equal and opposite ego law because nobody really likes being told what to do. So to circumvent this equal and opposite ego law, consider this pattern. Well, Mr. Customer, it looks to me like this is the perfect car that you've been looking for. I'm not going to tell you to buy this car because that is a big decision. Clearly, you shouldn't buy this car unless you are convinced that this car is the bright car for you. But based on what you've told me, it does seem to me to be a perfect match. What do you want to do? Now, this second method isn't going to guarantee a sale, but you'll find that it has a much higher probability. Of course, there are a lot of other techniques you can use along with this, but you get the general idea. You can also use this from a structural standpoint, meaning you can frame the entire conversation as not telling them to do whatever it is you want them to do, to instead do some digging in their brain for some kind of desire and build that desire up as much as you can so they'll decide to do what you want them to do anyway. This will leverage Dale Carnegie's idea that you can get anybody to do anything so long as they think it was their idea. If you tell people what to do, not only is it not their idea, but it triggers the equal and opposite ego law. But if you build up their desire from the inside out, it's much easier. And if you combine these two methods, it'll work even better. Simply frame the conversation as helping them come to the decision that you want them to anyway. Then when it's decision time, drop in the I'm not going to tell you pattern. I'm not going to tell you to do X because that's something only you can decide to do. But from my limited perspective, clearly I have no idea what's going on in your mind. It just seems like the right thing to do. Clearly, it is your choice, and you shouldn't do X unless you truly believe for your own reasons that X is a good idea. I'm not going to tell you to visit Mind Persuasion because only you know if you can benefit from the increased confidence that you'll gain. Only you know if you can benefit from becoming more persuasive and more seductive. And only you know now, as you listen to these words, whether the improved charisma you'll gain from mind persuasion books will help you in some way in your life. After all, it is your decision. And because your time is very valuable, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe to our channel. Only you know if the advanced language patterns that you can learn from from all of our videos will be beneficial to you. And I'm definitely not going to tell you to share this video with everybody you know on social media, because only you know how that might benefit you in some way. And I'm definitely not going to suggest that you drop in a comment and let us know the kinds of videos you'd like to see in the future, because you might want to keep that secret. And only you are aware in your mind now how you might spectacularly benefit from being able to use this pattern on a regular basis. Thank you for watching.